Welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host of the most. So the people have been saying, yo, SouFlo, we like to see your face. I didn't know they like seeing my face. I thought it was good with just doing the pictures and then talking from behind the pictures, but they must say no, do the videos where we can see your facial expressions and these kind of things. It is more relatable. I want you to leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me, do you prefer when I do these types of videos where you're able to see me speaking to you, or do you prefer the ones where it is mostly just pictures and we just talk from behind the scenes and you don't see me, right? Anyway, this video is about prison term being cut for a convicted teacher. Listen to this. A convicted teacher who had intercourse with a student at school during class time. Now, y'all know, right, that I have a big issue with the time that's given in Jamaica for crimes. Because it seems like these people get a chance to come back into society again sometime soon after committing these kinds of crimes, and then they're young enough and strong enough and able to do it again. I don't know prison to be a place of real rehabilitation. Most people that end up in there come back out worse than how they went in. Criminals go in there to learn how to be better criminals. You know what I'm saying? Men go in there halfway decent but did some crazy stuff and come out all the way crazy, doing a whole lot more crazy stuff. And now they have links. So anyhow, this story, I just thought it was just over the top. So listen to this story. An assistant teacher who admitted to having sex with a 15-year-old student at a Spanish Town high school while classes were in session has had 18 months shaved off his 9-year prison sentence. Now, right, that's all alone, me stop. Because I'm saying to myself, 18 months shaved off of a 9-year sentence. So a teacher that had sex with a student in school while class was in session, he only got 9 years? Rotted. And this was printed in the Gleaner, by the way, people. Shout out to the Gleaner out of Jamaica. This was printed in the Gleaner, and we're using this for discussion's sake. It was printed in the Gleaner, January 27th, 2020. That's the date. Anyhow, I've always said, before I go any further, you see those people in positions of authority? This is a message to parents out there. Okay? Listen. People in positions of authority are people that you watch. It's not people that you leave your children with and just trust them 100%. Because it seems like they are the ones that have the most leeway, and what we know for a fact is that pedophiles or people who love underage, boy or girl, they normally work their way into these positions in society. Teacher, pastor, these kind of things, right? Anyhow, so the appeal court in a decision handed down last Friday said that it would not set a minimum period that Gordon must serve before he becomes eligible for parole. It will not set a minimum. That means he will probably have to do the entire time. But they just shaved 18 months, almost 2 years, off of his 9 years. Let's hear how this went. Gordon pleaded guilty before the St. Catherine Circuit Court on March 31st of 2017. And he was given a sentence of 8 years and 9 months in prison. He is a past student of the school where the incident occurred as well. In April of 2015, he assisted students enrolled in the drama club, court records have revealed. The judge who presided over the case found that Gordon abused his authority as a teacher by taking the child out of class and having intercourse with her on the school compound during class time. So class are going, and teacher take student out of class. The Sexual Offense Act, under which he was sentenced, stipulates that where a person convicted for having sexual relations with a minor is an adult in authority, a minimum sentence of 15 years imprisonment should be imposed. This is what the law says under the Sexual Offense Act. If you are found to be an adult that was in a position of authority, teacher, which he was, a minimum sentence of 15 years imprisonment should be imposed, with a condition that the court specify that a period of 10 years be served before the offender becomes eligible for parole. The judge did not go with that 15-year minimum. Among other things, the law defines an adult in authority as an adult who is in a position of trust or authority in relation to a child. Again, that was him. Teacher, student. We send our children to school during the daytime. I send my daughter to school. I expect her to be in the company of and under the care of a teacher. That is a adult who is in authority until that child returns to my house, right? Me not expect that the teacher I go take my child out of class and go have sex with her while class is going on. The presiding judge indicated that as a starting point, this is where it gets ridiculous for me, and you have to hear what his lawyers said. That's the part that got extremely ridiculous. But listen, the presiding judge indicated that as a starting point, she considered a sentence of 15 years in prison, but she added 5 years because she regarded him as a person in authority, according to court transcripts that have been made public. After considering a number of mitigating factors, including his age and the fact that he himself has a young child at home, the judge reduced the sentence to 15 years before applying a 40% discount for his guilty plea. So right away he got his time chopped in half just by pleading guilty. And then here you have a female judge. And this is ridiculous. I can't understand that. I would probably be biased if I was a female judge, especially if I was a mother, because I would be saying, then big man like you take the girl out of class while class was happening and went and did that and then come bring her back to class like nothing happened, and like you're a predator, man, right? And you should be treated as such. I would go for the max. She went for the max and then she cut it in half. And she gave this man, a rapist, this special consideration. Thinking, oh, but you have a child at home and your age, like you're so young, I don't want it to get spoiled up in the system. You made it this far already and you made a mistake. Don't do it again. I'm going to cut this in half and then... what kind of ridiculousness is this? Thereafter, she credited, after she applied a 40% discount for his guilty plea, she credited him with the 3 months that he had spent in custody prior to sentencing. That reduction resulted in the sentence of 8 years and 9 months that she imposed. So this is how she got to 8 years and 9 months. His lawyers said, no man, this was too harsh. I tell you, I don't know if it's somewhere in the Bible it says, woe be unto you lawyers and doctors. And when I heard it when I was growing up, I used to say, but my grandparents want me to be a lawyer. And they're very devout Christians, so why would they want me to be a lawyer when their Bible, which them read every day and night, says, woe be unto you lawyers and doctors? It wasn't until I got to be a grown man that I really sit and meds the thing on Mr. Raw. Lawyers have to defend guilty people knowing that they're guilty. That's how you keep your bank account fat. Law school not cheap. And a lot of them have bills to pay. And when you get your foot good in the field, you can make a whole lot of money. So, defending guilty people, right? Some of the highest paid lawyers are known for defending well-known criminals. And criminals keep them on the payroll, keep them on a retainer, just in case anything happens, type stuff. And same thing for the doctor them. Doctors know what the cure could be or is, but they would prefer to give you medications to treat symptoms, not to cure the actual disease. They will reserve that for their family members or themselves and their close family. Everybody else, you're going to have to pay for the garbage they give you, and you're going to die anyways from your illness. And in the meantime, but this medicine I'm giving you, it will prolong you coming to see me, and I will keep making money every time you come to see me. All this money I'm making off you is going to send my children to private school. It's going to get me a yacht. I need a Benz truck. I need a mansion. And I need the status to say that I'm a doctor that makes all this money and this kind of stuff, right? So, woe be unto you lawyers and doctors. His lawyer said this punishment was too harsh. For a grown man dragging a 15-year-old out of class in the middle of the day while school is going on, taking her somewhere, they had intercourse and bringing her back to school, to the classroom, and he back in there teaching as if nothing happened. And he ended up with 8 years and 9 months, and you say it's too harsh. Would they have said it was too harsh if it was their daughter? Anyhow, it's their job, right? Despite this, Gordon, through his attorney, Isaac Buchanan and Alexander LaBeach, they challenged the sentence before the Court of Appeals as being too harsh. Hear this now, this macabre. The sentence of the court imposed on the appellant Horace Gordon of 9 years imprisonment is manifestly excessive and cannot be supported in all the circumstances. This is what his attorney said, according to court documents. They contended that the judge made an error when she found that Gordon was a person in authority. Because basically they're arguing that as he was never really employed by the Ministry of Education, so he wasn't really in authority. So he was acting as a teacher's role, but his lawyers are saying Ministry of Education never hired him to the school, so he wasn't really a person in position of authority as an assistant teacher pursuant to the Education Act. The attorney also argued too that the judge made another error in the starting point she chose by overstressing the age difference between Gordon and the student. She stressed the age difference too much because them wasn't that far in age, even though he was supposedly in a teacher's role and she was a 15-year-old. By failing to consider her relevant mitigating factors and by failing to give their client the most favorable view of the facts and circumstances of the case, this is his attorney speaking, the Court of Appeal, in its ruling, said that the decision to reduce the sentence by 18 months was based on the fact that the sentencing judge gave him a 40% discount for his guilty plea instead of a 50% maximum provided in the Criminal Justice Administration Amendment Act of 2015. So he took this to court after he got 8 years and 9 months because the judge sliced his time by 40%. He took it to court, claiming his lawyer said it was too harsh of a punishment. And he won, basically, because he got almost 2 more years shaved off. And the Court of Appeal says that the reason why he got that 18 months shaved off of his time, again, was based on the fact that the sentencing judge gave him 40% discount for his guilty plea instead of the 50% maximum that was provided in the Criminal Justice Administration Amendment Act of 2015. Wow. It may well be that she thought that Mr. Gordon was already getting a benefit for not having had to serve the statutory minimum sentence of 10 years that she could have imposed. She, however, did not say so. And then read a section of the appeal court decision. Go to the Gleaner, go through this article, and at the end of it, you can actually read a section of the appeal court decision. Now, mind you, the law says that if an adult who is deemed a person of authority, in a position of authority, engages in sexual behaviors with a minor, then it's supposed to be 15 years minimum. But they must put in writing that this person would have to serve at least 10 before they can apply for, what you want to call it, probation, parole, one of them things there. This is crazy. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. I'm going to leave this one right here for now. I'm out. Peace.